Welcome back to Do Mini Quiz. Before we dive into today's video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Turn on the notifications so you never miss our new videos every Monday and Friday. Quiz: Psychology Disorders. You will have 10 seconds to guess the psychological disorder based on the given symptoms. Good luck. Persistent feelings of sadness, loss of interest in activities, and fatigue. Major depressive disorder. What disorder involves recurring, unwanted thoughts and repetitive behaviors? Obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD. Experiencing periods of extreme euphoria and high energy, followed by severe depression. Bipolar disorder. Involves intense fear of social situations, leading to avoidance of these scenarios. Social anxiety disorder. Flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety after experiencing a traumatic event. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Feeling as if they are observing themselves from outside their body. Depersonalization, derealization disorder. What is the fear of heights known as? Acrophobia. Instability in relationships, self-image, emotions, impulsivity, and intense fear of abandonment. Borderline personality disorder. Extreme fear of gaining weight and severe restriction of food intake. Anorexia nervosa. Binge eating followed by compensatory behaviors such as vomiting, excessive exercise, or fasting. Bulimia nervosa. Which phobia involves a fear of death or dying? Thanatophobia. What is the irrational fear of germs or contamination called? Mysophobia. Being highly self-centered, needing constant admiration, and having a lack of empathy for others. Narcissistic personality disorder. Hallucinations, delusions, disorganized thinking, and impaired functioning. Schizophrenia. A phobia characterized by an intense fear of public speaking or performing in front of an audience. Glossophobia. The belief that one is dead or that certain body parts or organs no longer exist. Cotard delusion. Uncontrollable urge to pull out one's hair, leading to noticeable hair loss. Trichotillomania. The compulsive need to steal items even if they are not needed or have little value. Kleptomania. Desire or compulsion to set fires, accompanied by feelings of pleasure or relief after doing so. Pyromania. Believing they are being transformed into animals, often leading to strange behavior or delusions. Lycanthropy. Intense fear of being without a mobile phone or not being able to use it. Nomophobia. Believing that a limb or other body part does not belong to them and may result in a desire to remove it. Body integrity identity disorder. Extreme nostalgia for a time period they didn't live in, to the point where it interferes with their daily life. Anachronistic identity disorder. The compulsive need to be in cold environments, and an extreme craving for the sensation of cold. Cryophilia. The belief that objects around them are growing larger or smaller, often causing disorientation. Alice in Wonderland syndrome. Compulsive lying, often for no clear reason, and is not linked to any obvious personal gain. Pseudologia fantastica. Experiencing visual hallucinations of tiny people or objects, often due to neurological conditions. Charles Bonnet syndrome. Compulsion to eat inedible objects, such as dirt, metal, or hair. Pica. A strong emotional attachment to inanimate objects, often treating them as if they are alive. Objectophilia. Intense anxiety related to the idea of the passing of time or fear of time itself. Chronophobia. Believe that they have superhuman abilities, such as invulnerability or exceptional strength. Megalomania. Believing that they are secretly in a simulated reality or that the world around them is not real. Truman Show delusion. Which phobia is characterized by an irrational fear of butterflies? Lepidopterophobia. Which phobia is defined as the fear of clowns? Coulrophobia. Which phobia is defined as the fear of holes or clusters of holes? Trypophobia. Feeling intense and chronic anxiety about their perceived body odor, despite there being no offensive smell. Olfactory reference syndrome. Which phobia involves an irrational fear of darkness? Nyctophobia. Two or more distinct identities or personality states, Memory gaps, inability to recall personal events. Dissociative identity disorder did. Avoidance of medical care, extreme distress when visiting. Thinking about hospitals and fear of becoming sick, fear of hospitals. Nosocomophobia. Falsification of physical or psychological symptoms willing to undergo painful or risky medical procedures. Factitious disorder Munchausen syndrome. Delusional belief that someone, often of higher status, is in love with them, persistent to contact the individual, refusal to accept rejection. Erotomania. Fear of needles or injections, anxiety at the sight of needles, avoidance of anything involving injections. Trypanophobia. Fear of empty spaces or voids, fear of being in places without objects or people, minimalistic environments. Xenophobia. Delusion that family member has been replaced by an imposter, often leading to paranoia and withdrawal. Capgras delusion. Individuals can recall an unusually large amount of personal life events in great detail. Hyperthermesia. Dizziness, fainting, rapid heartbeat response to overwhelming art or beauty, often experienced in art museums. Stendhal syndrome. Fear of dolls' distress when seeing or being near dolls. Irrational fear that the dolls may come to life or cause harm. Pediophobia. Repeated episodes of walking or complex behaviors while asleep, often without memory of the event. Somnambulism. Belief that different people are actually a single person who is disguising themselves to deceive, persecute them. Fragile delusion. Fear of snakes, intense panic, sweating, trembling, and avoidance of places where snakes might be present. Ophidiophobia. Face blindness, inability to recognize familiar faces, including one's own, despite normal vision and intelligence. Prosopagnosia.